Hello, Lincoln. This is Emily Moore, and today we are going to discuss the topic FERPA. What is FERPA? FERPA stands for the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act. This is a law that gives parents certain protections with regard to their children's educational records, such as report cards, transcripts, disciplinary records, contact and family information, and class schedules. FERPA requires schools receiving federal funding to preserve the confidentiality of student education records and the personally identifiable information. Images of students captured on surveillance recordings qualify as educational records when photo or video is directly related to the student and maintained by the educational institution. Who has the right under FERPA? Parents have the rights on behalf of their children. When a child turns 18, the rights transfer to them, or if they attend a post-secondary institution. Parents who claim children as dependents on their taxes also have that right. New digital age. K-12 schools are hard-pressed to protect student data under FERPA and to keep students safe from identity theft, fraud, and extortion. FERPA is continuing to be strengthened due to cyber threats today. Video recordings are allowed in common areas, but it has to be known. And you also cannot plant any type of technology to catch audio from the students in your school. What is considered student records? GPA, students' grades, any health records, discipline records, any testing, whether that's physical or academic, and attendance records. Not included in educational records would be like teacher notes, records from the teacher or administrators, records from the law enforcement, medical or psychological records of a student who is at least 18 years of age, and personnel records of those individuals employed by the educational institution. An exception, in the event of epidemic disease outbreak or campus shooting, a school could legally share students' education records with designated personnel and law enforcement officers. Who else has access? School officials have the right to access records, and some examples of these people would be teachers, principal, counselor, a board member, the human resource department. Directory information. Under FERPA, schools may disclose directory information without consent, but they are required to allow parents and eligible students a reasonable amount of time to request that the school not disclose this information. This information includes the student's name, address or email address, phone number, birth date or place of birth, dates of attendance, any awards that were received or degree, a photo, and grade level. Data destruction. FERPA does not require educational agencies and institutions to destroy education records maintained as a part of the regular school or agency operation. Generally, data should be destroyed once it is completely not being used. Data should be well managed through this life cycle, which is listed here below. And then finding a way to properly destroy the data should be established in a building. Ways to destroy, once it's gone through this life cycle of capture, organize, utilize, and manage, and then you make it to that destroy section. Clear is an option, which is software-based technique. It's probably not the most efficient, but it is a way. A purge is the second, and that's a physical way to do it. And finally, to just destroy, shred it, making sure that it is completely gone. What else do you need to know as staff? Third-party vendors, it's really important to know who is getting information and who could possibly get information. If a vendor intentionally or accidentally misuses students' education records, the school would still be at fault. Be careful with the technology you use in your classroom. Again, you don't know what information it is getting out there, and even in the sites that you're using, what they're asking for. Keep any student data you have secure. Any of your records just keep locked in a drawer. If you want to throw away old student records, don't just throw it in the trash, shred it. Educators should also be diligent on social media and what they post. FERPA allows educators to share information about a student internally within the institution or school district with basically any employee or agent who has a job that gives them a need to have access to that information. And finally, just remain committed to protecting our students' privacy. When it comes to consequences for noncompliance, in 2002, the U.S. Supreme Court decision ruled that individuals do not have the right to sue under the FERPA, but if a parent or eligible student files a FERPA complaint against your school, there may be an investigation and to figure out what action should be taken. A violation could be that an institution be cut off from federal funding. This is an extreme case. But it's more than likely that FERPA would require the school district to document and implement a policy to ensure that this doesn't happen again. Our policy here at USC 308, you can find that in the district handbook under the release of information FERPA rights. But it begins by stating, under the provisions of the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act, parents of students and eligible students, those who are 18 or older, are afforded various rights with regard to educational records that are kept and maintained by Unified School District number 308. In accordance with FERPA, you are required to be notified of those rights. And then it goes on to state all of the information that I just stated. It also emphasizes the directory information. For purposes of FERPA, our district has designated certain information contained in educational records as directory information. And again, those are the same directory facts that I listed previously, and those are considered directory information for our district. Here are the references that I used. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Thank you.